Hello everyone and welcome to Sunbox Cuisine. My name is Harper if you did not know, and today I am going to try to make cinnamon rolls for the first time in my life. So the criteria is, can I make them correctly? And then I'll be judging myself on, does the cinnamon rolls actually taste good? So you know, like, do they actually taste like cinnamon rolls? And number two, do they look like the stereotypical cinnamon roll stock photo? More or less, do they look pretty? And oh, my dog scared me. I thought he was doing something bad. And that's really all I'll be bringing you with me, and I'll be filming my successes and my failures, because there's always at least one of each. But with that being said, let us begin. So here are all the ingredients for the actual dough. This will be like a 3 to 4 hour process. So I decided to just start with the actual dough stuff because it actually has to have an hour to rise. I also have to say, you know, it actually serves 14, but I'm only going to make 7 because I want to try to be healthy. And then finally, before I forget, because I almost forgot, the actual recipe that I'm using is from Tasty, and I will have the link in the description down below, so if you want to check it out there. But with that, let us actually get on to the recipe itself. Okay, let's begin. So first things first, also as usual, I read the recipe more or less when I'm making the food. So I'm actually going to butter the baking pan later on. So first things first is in a large bowl, I'm whisking together the milk, which is lukewarm. I think it's warm, sort of. The melted butter, which is really warm because I don't know how to melt butter without burning it. I'm not burning it, but making it kind of hot, so there we go. And then finally, the granulated sugar. All the granulated sugar. Go ahead, my friend, be fun. So, it should be warm, so around 100 degrees. It is a solid 80. So, I'm gonna put this in the This is a really bad idea, but I'm just gonna do it because YOLO. More or less, I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, oh my god, in the microwave for like 10 seconds, and if it starts burning, that's my fault. Okay, let's just, you know, that's the recipe on the first step. Let's go. So I kind of started panicking a little bit because I'm not really sure if this actually supposed to be in the microwave or not. So I took it out a little bit faster than I probably should have, or I probably did it right. So let's just see if this is hot. Please be hot. It's not doing anything. It's not even moving a little bit. Move, thermometer. Move. It's still at 80. What the heck? Just a minute. Okay, I'm eating this, so I don't wash my hands, so let's be a little unhygienic for a while. It's literally not even hot, or not even like anything. It just feels kind of cold and weird. Okay, 10 more seconds, maybe like 20. Hopefully I don't actually set my house on fire, because that would really suck. So the actual butter mixture stuff, it doesn't actually feel warmer, but I did accidentally burn my finger on one of these sides because it's hot and because this is like tin or whatever. So I'm just gonna call it a day, say it's warm. If it's not, well, shoot. But more or less, I'm just gonna say it is, and then, you know, pray that it actually is. So, next step is to mix in the yeast. So I'm just gonna sprinkle it in evenly. I'm never good at the whole like doing stuff evenly. I usually just like put huge clumps all together because I'm an idiot. So this will be fun. So, come on, my little yeast. Okay, this was not evenly. Oh, they look so weird. They look little, kind of look like sand. Like not sand. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Okay, so that's all it is. Looks quite adorable. Okay, I'm gonna let this sit for a minute and then we will continue on. Please work, please work. When I start messing up on the first step, you already know the video will be a disaster, so hopefully it won't, but it might, because, you know, it's already, you know, bad omens already. Okay, if you can see this, nothing is actually happening, so I'm a little worried that I messed up. So I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But more or less, I'm just gonna do the next step, and if I messed up, you know, c'est la vie. So more or less, let's continue. Pour in all of the all-purpose flour and then mix with a spoon. Okay, so just pour it all in. Just like it said. I might have divided my mixture weird because this looks weird. I might have messed up. Okay. No! Also, if you couldn't tell, I'm not feeling that well right now, so this is just a whole disaster on itself. So literally, I think I might have messed up because nothing is happening. Yeah, I think I messed up. I definitely messed up. It's not a think. I know I messed up. Oh no. Okay, we're just gonna go on. I knew I messed up, you know, first try, you know, I've never done this before. I'm bad at math, didn't read the whole recipe beforehand. So this is what we got. It's very dry because I put too much flour in the beginning. But we're just gonna let this just stay for an hour, you know. Hopefully the yeast will do its thing. I didn't actually mess up and everything will be okay. And Universe loves me. Okay, so here is the dough. It looks weird, but it smells really good. And I think definitely the yeast did its work. So let's just pour in the salt and the baking powder, and then I'm gonna mix it around. I don't know where my other thing went. My mom actually told me to maybe like put in like a tablespoon of water, which I will do, so give me 1 second because moisture. That was probably at least a little bit of a tablespoon or a little more than a tablespoon. I don't know. So I'm just gonna mix everything around. This looks way better actually. This looks way more like it should. It definitely hasn't doubled in size, which is a little bit of a yikes situation, but I think I can do with it. So let's just make up a nice, you know, surface. So give me 1 second. Okay, here's my surface. So I'm gonna be kneading this lightly until everything just pulls off the table. You know, it's nice and easy and, you know, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know what I'm doing. I always say this in my videos and then sometimes, you know, people forget or I forget myself. But as a side note or like a warning, my baking skills are usually horrible. So yeah, oh, this dough is really yikes. Okay, let's see, I have a little bit here, do that. So, you know, just saying that out loud, I don't have the patience or the hands or really anything, the mindset to bake. So usually the product of my baking fiasco looks a little bit on the not good side, but actually this is looking not that bad. So thanks to, you know, the excess flour and whatnot, it's already more or less done. It feels really nice. It's nice and warm and it smells very like yeasty and doughy. Okay, I think I accidentally put too much flour on, but looks nice, you know, whatever. So, there we go, we got that. And then we are going to be rolling it into a large rectangle, like an inch or half an inch. Yes, okay, so let's just do that. Again, also, I think also a big issue about why I'm not good at baking is I wasn't very good at like listening in class when we had the whole section about measurements and all that. I didn't really listen at all, so, you know, in like first grade or whatever when it was. So that's always kind of haunted me for the rest of my life. So with that being said, this does not look like a rectangle. I know that at least. Kind of looks like a weird oblong oval. That, do that. There we go. That looks semi-appropriate. So I'm just going to tighten up the corners so they actually look like a stupid rectangle instead of an oblong circle thing. Okay, I think we're done. It doesn't look terrible, which again, give it a win. I don't know if that's half an inch. I'm hoping it's half an inch. We're just gonna go on because I'm not gonna get measuring tape. I'm just going to soften up the butter and then we're gonna make the filling, so yeah. At this point, I am limping along, you know. There's been a couple of huge big mistakes, but I think we're on the right track at least to make cinnamon rolls. Okay, so the butter melted a little bit more than I thought it was. I put it in a cast iron skillet pan thing that had been in the oven, so it could, like, you know, slowly melt, and then things happened, including my dog going downstairs in the basement and me didn't have to do the laundry. So I'm like, probably like 5-10 minutes later, I'm back and it's melted, but we're just gonna go with it. So more or less, we're just going to put this down. Yeah, it's not softened all the way. Oh well, more or less, I'm just going to just try to soften it and do this. Oh, come on, shoot. It's like a little bit not softened, like right on this hunk of butter because life really sucks right now. Can I just do this and it does something? It does something, but it doesn't do what I want it to do. Okay, I'm gonna put this back into this pan and just try to warm up a little bit more, like, you know, melt it a little more. Probably be a huge just hunk of melted butter after this, but honestly, it's better than what it is right now. Okay, I'm back with the rest of the butter. I'm actually gonna kind of cut it up in the pan, in the bowl, and then hope it's just going to do its thing and work with me when I pour it out right now. It's not doing its thing, it's not working with me. But, you know, worst case scenario, there'll just be huge nuggets of butter in places on this cinnamon roll. And honestly, that doesn't sound like a bad thing. Oh no. It's done. We're just gonna leave it like this. So, next is to pour out brown sugar evenly, which is it's not going on evenly, but we're just going to try. Okay, that's enough. Okay, now this is easier. Way easier. There we go. Ha ha ha! Yeah, we did it! Woohoo! Okay, next step is something. Roll it up in forming a log, which is gonna be a disaster in so many freaking ways. Okay, if you thought everything else was a struggle, this is a true struggle. So, try to do it all together. First roll. Oh gosh, come on. You can do this, Harper. Yeah, you're doing it. I'm doing it. Yeah. Up. Hey, there we go. Oh, okay, come on. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna go and butter a cake sheet to actually put this on, and then we'll cut this up. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. It looks a little bit awkward on the sides. As you can probably, I probably can't see it, but on the sides, they look a little bit awkward. I do have issues, I do have problems, I do have worries. But so far, so good. So let's see how it goes. So I'm worried that of me moving this log too much, I've actually made it not as, you know, structurally sound as before. But we're just gonna go with it because honestly, I don't know how to fix it. So, cutting in. I probably should use a sharper knife. I'm gonna use a sharper knife. Give me a second. Okay, let's do this again. So, cutting in. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, let's go with it. So, have a pan right here. That, and then do that. Ooh, they look very weird. No. Oh well, we're just gonna go with it. Just go with it. They can look weird, they just have to taste good. That's all I care about. All the cinnamon's falling out of them accidentally. No, it's all falling apart. Oh dear. Okay, so it looks like this. No! Okay, so they look pretty yikes. But next step is to just wrap them up in like foil and then let them stand for 30 minutes. And while that happens, I'm gonna be making the frostings. Okay, so I'm back. In true Simplex Cuisine tradition, I actually dropped this pan. Now, I didn't drop on the actual, like, you know, it dropped on its side. So the only thing that really happened, as you can probably see, is all the cinnamon rolls kind of went all sideways. But, you know, I have to be true to myself and to you guys. I have to show you guys all my failures, and this was a huge, big failure. I don't know what happened. I was just, like, calmly just putting it down, and then all of a sudden it just fell. But, yeah, so part 2, let's do this again without breaking or, you know, destroying this, because honestly, I don't want to do this again. So here are all the ingredients. I can't always see them, but they're all around me for the frosting. And I realized while I'm, like, you know, making this, but I realized this is actually a cream cheese frosting, which I've never been really a big fan of in my life. You know, especially for cinnamon rolls, I've always just really liked just a glaze instead. So this will be interesting to see if this tastes good or not. And I'm also just doing this by hand because number 1, I am lazy. Number 2, I am lazy because I don't want to get out the stupid stand mixer. So I'm gonna do this instead and then see how it goes. So I just completed mixing this. As you can probably see, it looks pretty nice. I put in a little bit of water because it wasn't, you know, becoming nice and smooth like it was supposed to. I think I did a really good job. I tasted a little bit. It tastes pretty good. So it's been 30 minutes for this to rise. I haven't seen it yet, so let's see if they actually look bigger or not. And yeah, they do. Look at that. They actually did rise a little bit, which is really nice. So I'm gonna put this in the oven for 23 to 30 minutes, and then we'll see how they turn out. So fingers crossed, we're hoping. You got the cinnamon rolls, let's go. So here we go. I am really happy how this turned out. It looks really good. You know, they smell really amazing. Like very like yeasty, which I really like. So I'm going to pour on the amazing frosting right now. Here we go. Everything looks pretty nice. So I'm gonna grab myself a slice and then see how it tastes. Not a slice, why am I saying slice? A roll and see how it tastes. I am very, very excited. Okay, so let us see how it tastes. As you can see, it looks pretty nice. It looks a little bit awkward. I would definitely say that the whole like aesthetically pleasing part of this dish, I would definitely give it a very low score because it kind of fell apart. But let's see how it actually tastes. So here's a piece right here. Okay, so I have had a whole cinnamon roll, as you can probably see, none left. And what are my thoughts? So number one, this is probably the best cinnamon roll I have ever tasted. It was not too sweet, but it wasn't savory. It still had enough sweetness that I really liked it, but it wasn't too sweet. It was like really just gooey and delicious. The cinnamon was just, it was perfect. It was very light and airy and fluffy, which I really, really like. It wasn't too dense. My only big issue was the cream cheese icing. It tastes really good. It really did bring the dish together, but I just do not like the taste of cream cheese icing. I've never liked the taste of cream cheese icing. I probably never will. My rating score, 1 out of 10, 1 being never, 10 being always, perfect, amazing, best thing ever, I'll have it again and again and again. I would definitely give this a 9 out of 10, and the only big issue is the cream cheese icing, which is completely on me. I think that it did a great job. It did what it was supposed to do, it really sweetened up the dish, and if you love or if you're indifferent with cream cheese icing, you will love this dish. Problem is, I'm not a big fan, so my enjoyment of the dish really did plummet thanks to the just weird tasting of cream cheese icing. But after that, it is an amazing dish. I really liked it. It was definitely worth the 3 hours of cooking, and I honestly think that, as usual, Tasty does a really good job with the recipes. This is definitely a slam dunk, but it also didn't really look like cinnamon rolls, at least mine, because mine were just like all over the place. So again, 9 out of 10, but it was amazing, and if you love cinnamon rolls, then you should definitely try out this recipe. But with that being said, that's the end of the video. So of course, if you do if you want to see more from moi, just subscribe. I hope you have an amazing day. I will see you next time, and as usual, goodbye!